Hey everybody, this is Maxwell with StarDude Outdoors. Welcome to 2017 and a whole bunch more gun legislations. Living here in California, we have to deal with a whole bunch of different gun restrictions. And in 2017, we have a lot of them. The big one being that your AR-15 has to be registered as an assault weapon, which, in my opinion, should not be done. Now, there are a couple of workarounds with this, including the bullet button. Now, in the original AR-15 ban, the assault weapons ban, they introduced the bullet button, the first version of it. What you had to do was use a tool to pop the magazine button to drop the magazine. With the new legislation, that is actually no longer legal. The creators of the bullet button have come out with a remedy to the situation with their newly released Bullet Button Reloaded, also known as the Patriot button. There are a couple different options as well, such as the AR Mag Lock, but those of you who have an ambidextrous bolt catch, the AR Mag Lock will actually not function, and because of that, I will be using the bullet buttons version. This is my AR-15 with the previous version of the bullet button, and we're going to go ahead and demonstrate how to install the new version so that this is compliant in California for 2017. Okay, and here we are. This is the Bullet Button Patriot Mag Release. You can pick these up directly at bulletbutton.com for $49.95, or most of your local gun stores will probably have them too. If you're in the San Diego area, I recommend checking out Gunfighter Tactical off of Miramar Road. When you purchase it, you're going to receive it in this little baggie with all the tools that are required, as well as this instructional paper and some other details. So here it is all laid out. It looks a little bit complicated, but it's actually really easy to install. This right here is going to replace your rear takedown pin. This is your tool, your castle tool right here. This is your Allen wrench. This is going to be your typical spring for your magazine release. And you have a couple other small tools. And this part right here is the actual locking device itself. The easiest way to remove your old bullet button and install your new one is by removing the upper and lower receivers and working specifically only on the lower. And remove the upper, and let's go ahead and set it to the side. Now with that new piece of legislation, what it basically says is that you have to have a non-detachable box magazine. Basically what they want you to do is to weld your magazine to your lower so there's no way for you to remove it. Now what the new bullet button allows you to do, instead of having you weld it, it just locks it in place so that you actually have to physically break open the action in order to remove the magazine. And let's go ahead and remove this old bullet button. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you have a tool, we're going to go ahead and use the tool to remove the inner button of your bullet button. So once you've loosened it up, it should come right out, and the bullet button as well will slide right out. From here, you remove the other side of your magazine release, and now we're completely open, nothing there. Now that we've taken everything off, we're going to go ahead and get all the parts that we need from the new bullet button. We're going to need the bullet button itself. We're going to get the flat piece, the cap. You're going to need the castle screw, the spring, and the back end of your magazine release. We're going to put the back end of the magazine release like you would for any other AR-15. Going to get the spring, put it in place. All right, so this process is not exactly easy. Get the bullet button, put it inside here, press it down, give it a little bit of tension, get your castle screw with the castle side up. You're going to drop it right there. Then with the castle screw tool, screw it in place a little bit, try to catch it right there. You can release a little bit of tension right there, but you just kind of have to finagle it right in place, kind of get it right there, screw it a couple times. So now it's there, actually holding it. Slide the tool all the way in and screw it in nice and tight. And what you want to do is make sure that you don't push it all the way past the edge of the lower receiver. You just want to kind of get it right at the edge there, so that way when you press it, it pushes against the wall. So the idea here being that you can open up the action, press this in to release your magazine. Don't tighten it up so much that it stays in this position like this, because then you won't be able to drop your upper receiver. All right, and now you're pretty much set. Let's reattach the upper to the lower, and I'll show you how it works. Drop it in place and clamp it back in. Pop out that lower detent. Still gives you enough space there to go ahead and release the magazine. So we'll see in place. So Yeah, drops the magazine. That's good. How about when we close it up? And now, there it is. It is a now fixed box magazine rifle. So once you verify that the action works and that everything's set and working the way that it's supposed to be working, we're going to put that disc, the cover, in place. Get ready. This is your lifetime commitment of keeping it on there. Put the disc right over the hole. You're going to use an 832 wrench and stick it underneath the button itself to give it some resistance. Now in this case, since I have the ambidextrous release right here, an 832 will not actually fit. So I'm using a smaller one that will fit for me, putting it in place to keep it from bouncing or shaking or scratching up your rifle. And again, using a soft-sided hammer or some sort, and go ahead and pound it in place. All right, and there it is, nice and flush. And that's pretty much it, everybody. Your AR-15 is now California compliant. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below. Otherwise, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on StarDude Outdoors. Hammer that in place with a soft hammer or some kind of other pounding device.
I just got it. What's a pounding device?
A pounding device? I'm gonna get shit for that too.
Does that sound all fancy?
A pounding device.